Hey all, Game Methuselah. Before I run off to do my Patreon videos today, I wanted to do a small video for you guys with two little gaming subjects and a couple quick rants. So I will start in. First, I'll give you a gaming subject. I would like to start playtesting and utilize an alternate initiative system. I've been thinking about this for a long time. For those of you who know me, I love Fantasy Trip, and they have a very interesting initiative system. What they do is you roll sides, so your party versus whatever enemy party or parties they have. You each roll a d6, and if anybody has a leadership talent, in fact, to take that back, if the leader of the party has a leadership talent, he can add either 1 or 2, depending upon the level of his ability. At that point, he makes the decision whether he wants to move first, i.e. the party, or he wants the enemy faction to move first. Everybody then moves, and then by speed, which in this case is their dexterity, they determine in what order they attack. This is a very interesting way to play. It's very tactical, and what ends up happening is you have to plan quite a bit to determine, the factors in when you want to move, because you want to maybe move up, prevent a charge, or you want to charge. So many other factors in the combat that take place in that initiative. And it's very simple, but it becomes very important in the play of the game. I like it. In D&D, it's kind of, to me, as if initiative doesn't really make that much a difference. It's kind of like, if you roll badly, well, you're going first in the next turn. And that seems odd to me. And then once initiatives are established, you just have a sort of a straight line. I attack, you attack, the next person attacks, in an order that can be planned for unless somebody delays or anything else interferes with that. The idea I've had, and I've seen it used in other types of games, is to roll initiative each round. That makes initiative really important because somebody who has a great initiative can often, go first, or if he rolls poorly in the initial, he's very likely to be able to make up for it in future rounds. That's kind of how I think I'd like it to see played. I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it in the past because normally the way I run the games, I usually let other players run the initiative tree for me. Anything that lightens my load in playing, I try to do because, the games are complex for the DM and I want to make sure that everyone else is also involved. So you might want to give it a chance. Now, if anybody was delaying their action, they could either delay into the next round, which I think would be fine, or if you wanted to make it a special rule, you have them roll initiative, but they had 10 because they were delaying. So yes, they might be able to go first, and they could keep delaying if they wish, but you never know. Somebody might roll fabulously and, catch a jump on them, and even though they were preparing to shoot somebody coming around the corner, suddenly this rogue rolls really well, and he's able to zip around the corner and make his attack before the readied action shoots off at him. So I think it would be exciting. I think it would add a really new element of playing. I think it would be enjoyable. I'm going to try it, see how people like it. If you're game and it sounds interesting, I'd love for you to try it and then give me some feedback on it. Okay, now on to a couple quick rants. I'm having a horrible problem. I'm drinking myself into a stupor with my Australian ginger beer because, well, it has... Oh, crap, there's no alcohol in here. Damn it. They canceled The Expanse on the Sci-Fi Network. My favorite show. In fact, I love this show so much, I wanted to make a traveler adventure based upon the whole Expanse universe. I think it's incredible. The characters are incredible. I really like Amos, but Jane, the actor in the first series, I thought he had the best redemptive character role I've ever seen played in any... Well, that's kind of bullshit, but it was really excellent, and you really ought to see it if you haven't. I know it's playing on Amazon Prime. Tiny Tinder is trying to keep me from jumping off the roof by telling me that, Sci-Fi only had the rights to air the show and that it's likely that the producers might be able to get it done for a 4th season and maybe it'll get picked up by Netflix. Whoever picks it up, if I don't already have their service, I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to get it. The second rant I have is about, I watched the last video, Matt Colville's, and I noticed he had 20-some odd dislikes. And then this morning I heard a couple things that he's been getting a lot of, I wouldn't say harassment, but some minor trolling responses onto the fact that he's not getting what everybody wants to see done. And I think that's unfair. I mean, Matt Colville is working his posterior off to get what he promised you he would do when the people financed him on his Kickstarter. And he's doing a really excellent job. Now, if anybody should be upset, it's me. You guys have basically dragged my friend away from me, and I haven't gamed with him in months. I seldom see him. I imagine you guys on the videos more likely see him as much as I do. He hasn't played with us in nigh on to a year because he's working his posterior off for you. Hasn't taken a vacation, didn't buy a Lamborghini, didn't hop on a jet to Bermuda with your money. He is working like 24/7 to get his novel done and all his products out there. Can't wait for the dragons to get here so I can paint them and show you what I think they should look like, or what miserable product I can produce, but you'll see it. But he's making something that's going to be really exciting. So I'm sorry for you people out there who think that somehow you're not getting the product that you want. I think it's going to be excellent, and it's right on the horizon. I mean, he's got his studio up, he's got his techs in there, he's working on it. It should be great. Hopefully I'll be able to even get involved and start showing some stuff there as well. So hold your breath and keep patient. For the people who finance this, I think really want to see a good product, and I think you're going to. Leading in from that rant, I wanted to talk about something called DM burnout. I think in some ways poor Matt's feeling this way. Haven't had a chance to talk to him about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. DMs spend a lot of time prepping. Even a minimalist game master like me preps up for his game hours and hours more than the time required for you to run it. They produce miniatures, they produce magical cards, draw maps, come up with campaign plots, go out and buy modules and expansions so that you can have lots of product. They're all there to run the game for you to make it a good time. And often the DMs, I feel, are unappreciated. I felt that way myself many times. Matt asked me in the interview he did with me a couple of years ago now, what was my biggest disappointment in our group? And I told him that the game's falling apart. Most games never seem to run to their full maturity like I think they should. Sadly, what ends up happening is the DM gets burned out. And a lot of times I feel because they're being unappreciated by the people that they are running for. That's disappointing. That's why I liked games like the Twilight of Fey one I'm doing, which is a cooperative game with multiple game masters, where the idea is that even if I get burned out and I sort of fall down on my ability to want to run, there'll be somebody else to sort of pick up the mantlet and move forward. I've told you that I think that works best, and it's worked best in my gaming groups. And I think it would work best here. Understand what you're going to see. You're going to see lots of product, and I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to hopefully get back and game with my friend. So in the meantime, just hold your breath and keep on the path here, because I think you're going to see a lot more of Matt Colville in the future, hopefully even a little bit of me. But remember, when you're gaming, just like this situation, the game master needs your support. If you can't do a lot, if you're new, if your finances are small, run the initiative track for them or paint miniatures. My friend Steve Kish never felt really comfortable in running and DMing games, but he always would paint everybody's characters. In my playtest of my game down in Orange County, John DeShazer's doing the same thing. He went and painted all the characters for the players in my game. Provide value for the game master. Support his vision and what he's looking to do, because this is going to make the game better for everybody. If, you sit down at a game and you say, I'm really not interested in your content, I just want to kick open the door and kill monsters, you're likely going to have a guy who wanders away. I had a group years ago where I sat down with them and started to play a game, and they were enjoying it, and I asked one of them what their character's name was. And he said, well, we don't name our characters till they've survived a couple adventures. And I thought, wait, I've spent 6 hours to prepare an adventure for you, and you can't write Bob on the top of your character sheet? I think I'm going to find another group to play with. Don't be those people. Be supportive. Understand that some things take time, and, both in prepping up games and running games, there's a lot of things in life that get in the way. So I wanted to leave you with this. So until we have a chance to talk again, fight me, devils, fight, for I hate peace. Game on.